And then there are also cocaine addicts that will isolate. Also, another thing that you can look for is lots of hours of sleeping. Hi friends, my name is Pej. I'm an interventionist. I help people with drug addiction, alcoholism, and mental health hopefully get on the path of changing and becoming much better, hopefully becoming sober too. Today I want to talk about certain types of behaviors that people possess when they're addicted or they have alcoholism, and then what can be done to try to help them. You know, when it comes to opiate use, a great indicator that somebody's on a lot of opiates is because they are nodding out. A lot of times you will see them falling asleep in various places, sometimes unusual places and sometimes right out in the open where you would least expect it. A lot of opiate users may have a pill addiction that could later on transfer into some other kind of addiction like smoking heroin or shooting heroin or snorting it or swallowing it. And then fentanyl obviously too, which is like the major killer. And you know, fentanyl addicts, it's pretty evident, like once they are really deep in their addiction, that something's not right. They're not well kept. Some of them actually function in everyday life and go to work and things like that. But the majority, the ones that get really deep in their addiction, aren't really employable. Like they are stuck somewhere. They're either stealing to try to get their addiction going, but you know, they start getting in trouble, or a lot of different things happen to where they might get arrested. These are also great indicators of a person that has a major opiate addiction. When it comes to alcoholism, I think it's not hard to spot an alcoholic depending on how they're acting. Some of them will drink in a way to where they become belligerent, they become drunk, they might become angry. A lot of them might become happy-go-lucky. They'll hide alcohol in and about their house because somebody doesn't like the fact that they keep drinking. But that's definitely, when it comes to alcoholism and alcoholics, something to look for is somebody that's either drinking in the house, isolating, or out and about, wanting to be amongst a lot of different people and places, sometimes friends, sometimes drinking spots like, you know, saloons and things like that. And then there's cocaine addicts. Like cocaine addicts are a very interesting breed because there's different types. There's the cocaine addict that might be one that snorts coke and likes to drink and go out and party with his friends, or even party with certain women or certain men in certain type of settings. And then there are also cocaine addicts that will isolate. The ones that want to stay in the house. Some of them might smoke coke, like crack, and they want nothing to do with anyone. They just want to keep doing more and more and more. They become highly addicted, and they're always chasing that one next high. And you can, the way they appear is they're very sweaty. They sometimes sweat profusely. They also can become very angry. Sometimes they can experience a lot of depression as a result of being on cocaine for a period of time and you know, partying too hard. And then some of them become very zombified, especially people that are smoking crack to the point where they're like a mutant, basically, to the point where they lose a lot of weight and it just appears like they're not in human form anymore. Now they're actually totally addicted, and it's obvious that they have a cocaine problem. And then there's meth users. Now, with meth users, and I speak from experience, meth users will act in certain ways. They will lie. They will sometimes try to build things out of things. They will spend a lot of time working on something that wouldn't really make sense for anybody else to work on, but they're absolutely convinced like they've got to do this. They will steal. A lot of them like to go in the underbelly of the beast and get into that crime-like state and speculate and go after people or steal people's identities, things like that. A lot of meth users will do things like that. A lot of meth users that are up for a long time, here's a great indicator to know if somebody's on meth. They will think that somebody's out to get them. They will think that it's usually the feds, the CIA, and they will act in a way to where now you see them, now you don't. Sometimes they're gone for many, many days. Also, another thing that you can look for is lots of hours of sleeping. Because if they are up for days and days and days, eventually they've got to land the ship and crash out super hard, and they can be asleep for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, sometimes even longer. But once they've slept and then they get up again, they're back to the races. They're going to go try to find more meth or try to get high again. Now, when it comes to getting these people help, how do you do it? Like, what do you do? A lot of times there are wives or husbands or people that call me and say, I think that my husband's on coke or on meth or certain types of drugs. What should I do? And it's not always the easiest thing to try to convince the person that they need help, especially if someone's in full-blown psychosis, which is drug-induced psychosis as a result of the types of substances that they're using. But never give up. You can always call me. We can try to come up with some kind of plan to either be able to get that individual help or to get you out of the situation, because you don't have to stay attached to someone that doesn't want to get help, or somebody that is making you run circles around them, or they're running circles around you, not knowing what to do and how to handle the situation. You've got to protect yourself. If you're experiencing this with somebody that you love, or you yourself needs help with drug addiction or alcoholism, you can always call me. My name is Pej. It's 310-596-9356. I'm here to help.